stabilizer, plumber's antifreeze for boats and RVs. We're going to need some stored seal fogging oil, and then you're going to need your handy bucket with your connector hose right here, a funnel, and then a little air chuck. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our fuel stabilizer and put that in before we do anything. Right now this says 100 milliliters to stabilize 30 liters. So I need about 200 milliliters in here. Now we got to do this so that we run this fuel through the system. When we top up the fuel tank later, we'll put the rest in. Okay, so all we got to do is take these brackets off right here, pry this off, it comes off, and this right here can connect right onto that. It just pulls right out, and then that goes right on. Tighten that right up. This is basically your water intake. So we're going to rig it up to through the backside. It's underneath. Grab it. Then we're going to plug that right in. I did, yeah. Alright, now we're just taking this out right here. Tightening this right there. There it goes. That's set up. Now what we have to do is come up to the bucket. Alright, now we're going to hook up our Y hose here, hook the side with the valve up to the water side, right here to the water, and then our other one to the bucket, which we have the valve right on the bucket. We were able to open and close. Now we're able to open this, put the water through. Now water's going to our system. It's going to keep our engine cool while we warm it up. All we're doing is popping that breather right off there. And put your screw back on your nut just to make sure you don't lose it. This is where we're going to put our fogging spray right in here. All we're doing now is we're going to just run her just to warm her up. So everything's in neutral and good. And here we go. Keep an eye on the temperature gauge. We want to get that to a point where the thermostat opens. Things running good back here. You'll notice that the hose kind of pinches a little bit. It's okay, she still draws the water through. It's looking good. All we're doing here the first time is just warming it up, and then we're going to shut it down, we'll set up the antifreeze, and then be ready to go. Just letting the fuel stabilizer work through the system as well too, so we want to get that through. So all we're doing now is just warming it up. You can actually feel the water to see that it's warmer, and we're going to be watching that to see it turn pink whenever we run the antifreeze through it. A little bit, just to get a little bit warmer. We're sitting at the 150 mark. Thing about revving it, you gotta watch so you don't suck it too much to close that water off. Water's still going through the hose good? It's about 2,000 RPM. That's good. Put 20 liters in the bucket. Alright, so what we're doing here is we got our bucket full. We're ready to switch it over to our antifreeze here and close the water off. Then we're going to fog at the same time. So we're just going to bring it up here a little bit. Make sure it's in neutral. A little more. There we go. So we're making sure the can is straight up and down.
Turn the water off and bring it on.
Roger that. See the pink fluid going through. While we're fogging.
Keep an eye on your fluid.
What's that?
Okay, it's going through. It's going through. Don't turn it off. The water's off.
Water is off, yeah. Yeah, fluid's going through nice. Want me to get that other can just in case?
I already got lost.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna jump down and see if we got our pink color here, it's good. Alright, the antifreeze is all the way through.
Okay, shut her off.
Now we're shutting her off. Alright.
Let it run, let that run.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe she'll let it run like now. Just what it suits good. It's filling up your jackets now, right?
Okay, yeah.
It's not being, doesn't need to be sucked anymore, but it's filling all this up now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Alright, so now we can get that done.
let's open that up a little bit more, Craig. Let's open that thing up.
This here?
Oh, yeah, go put your thing on full throttle. Or you can do it from there. Go on.
Figured.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. Go do is just put it to full throttle.
Yeah. Alright, just put it up to full throttle. Spraying some extra fogging in. There's the dripping out.
Okay, give it a little.
Close it.
Yeah, just give it a little tick over.
Quick start. Quick start and shut down.
Just suck her in.
Alright, now the valve goes off here. Lock that. And we're going to put our blower back on.
See what that thing. It's not your blower.
Right here? Yeah, okay. Alright, and now we're just taking this off as well. Put this guy back on real good and solid. So it's ready to go for next year when you drop it in the water. To get the ballast pumps winterized, we're going to have to take this hose off right here. Just loosen that bracket right down there. Take that hose right off. There we go, so we're just going to feed this right into that pump. Just like that. We'll work like a team. Alright, so coming up here to our certain tanks. Is there anything coming through? So center tank, we'll fill that one. Just put a bunch into it. Starboard.
They sunk it down.
Port. Now we're just going to pump some out here. So starboard pump empty. There she goes. Is it pink? Yeah. To the other side. Pink.
Yep. Yeah, come off here. Go to the bottom, yeah. Okay. Go to the bottom. Take one off. And just blow the water through.
Alright, all we're doing for this is we're taking that heater hose. That's the one from right there. We blew it out here first, and now we're just going to fill it with some antifreeze just to be sure. There you go. Now we're just blowing this through.
Okay, put a little more in there.
Okay, just about to start coming through.
There's more coming.
That's okay. There she comes. We've got all the cylinders done and fogged, so pulled out each spark plug and then put the fog and spray in there, button that all up. In order to get at it, I actually took out these panels right here and then took these out as well too. To get this out, I just popped this off, which all you gotta do is take a screwdriver and push up on that, and it opens it, and then just pop it off. Alright, the last thing we're gonna do is take the batteries out here. Just come in and work them loose, and unhook them and put them in a warm place. Alright, if you need to change the oil in the V drive, you're going to be checking this dipstick right here. If it looks milky, you're going to want to change it, make sure there's no water in that system. What you're going to do to that is this little drain plug right here sits on the very back, in behind on the bottom of that. I don't know if you'd be able to see it, but straight down, kind of like this point here, but on the back side is where that's at. So you got to reach around there, and what I did is I used a 7/16 socket right here, and that fit that head pretty good, but it's got to be the star shaped socket. I got that out, drained the oil. It's going to be kind of messy in there. You can put a funnel right down the hole down the bottom and put a bucket on the bottom, and that will work pretty good. You can also take some of the oil out of this right here as well, and you can check that too to make sure there's no metal filings. It's a magnetic plug there. And then what I did was, with a couple adjustable wrenches way down here, this guy, I've undid this one right here, which takes this hose off, pull it that way, and then you can screw this whole system around, and there's a little filter that goes right in the bottom. So I just pulled that out, checked it, cleaned it, put that back in when you're done, and then you can put your plugs back in and seal it up. What you want to do is run the engine first, make sure the oil is good and warm in the V drive so that it flows out really easily. It's an SAE 30 oil that's going in there. To fill this up with oil, you're going to take a wrench and loosen this, and it's going to screw right up. That's your breather right there. And then this is where you're going to actually fill up your oil. Just pour it right in there with a funnel. Right, for the oil change, we're going to need 1025 W40.